And since you talked about Dr. Umar Johnson, I've seen a lot of his work, a lot of his lectures and speeches and things of that nature. And one of the things that I found interesting about your book is you talked a little bit about Dr. Umar Johnson, and you talked about an interview he did on the Breakfast Club back in, I think, 2016, and the comments he made about white Jesus. He said white Jesus being the greatest weapon of mass destruction in the black community, and you acknowledged that
Hmm.
some were hanging on to every word while others were thought that he was misguided. Tell us why what he said did it have any merit, and why is the statement that he made so important?
Yeah, I would say it does have merit from a standpoint of the fact that again, I'm talking about whitewashing, and so white Jesus was an arm of white supremacy. In the 1800s, the American Bible Tract Society was intentional about presenting all the Bible characters as white, and their goal was to associate Christianity with whiteness. And I have the footnote in the book for those that will purchase the book and read that so they can go behind me. And so when he says a weapon of mass destruction, this is true. It was a weapon of mass destruction, in intentional in trying to incite inferiority. But it's important to understand that these slave masters were not beating Christianity into us. They
Mm-hmm.
attempted to beat inferiority into us.
Right.
They wanted us to think of ourselves as inferior. There's a difference. And so this is why even Harriet Tubman was referred to as Grandma Moses. This is why they had those codes within the songs, is when they read the text themselves, they knew that with these white so-called Christians, because I don't believe they were, based on First John chapter 4,
Mm-hmm.
these so-called Christians, they knew the difference of what scripture actually said versus what they were trying to teach them. And so white Jesus was an arm of white supremacy to associate Christianity with whiteness and to demean black people of thinking that they had any value, and to reject what's called the imago Dei, the image of God, Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 in them. And so he's right, but again, in other talks, the conclusion I think he comes to is to reject Yeshua, to reject Christ, and that's where we must part ways.
What's happening? This is Deontay Carroll, host of Turn Up the Volume podcast. Listen, do me a favor. If you like this video, do yourself a favor and hit the subscribe button. Also, tap the bell and turn on all of your notifications to see this and more interviews and more shows from my podcast right here on my YouTube page. So, y'all hit that like button, tag, share, and subscribe. Y'all be good.